Tuesday, June 20th, 2023, Watkins Jail, Phoenix, Arizona. Today's handout had hymn number 200, Christ the Lord is Risen Today, on one side, and the scriptures from the topical guide under Jesus Christ, Mission of, on the other side. There was only one inmate in my first class in Pod 3D. We introduced ourselves as sons of God and sang the hymn. I asked the man if he wanted to say the opening prayer or if he wanted me to say it. He said he wanted me to say the prayer. I read Isaiah chapter 26, verse 19, one of the scriptures on the handout. Thy dead men shall live, together with my dead body shall they arise. Awake and sing, ye that dwell in the dust, for the dew is as the dew of herbs, and the earth shall cast out the dead. I put pictures of my parents' headstones, my grandparents' headstones, and my great-grandparents' headstones on the whiteboard. Then we talked about the resurrection. In the second class in Pod 4A, we introduced ourselves as sons of God and sang the hymn. The man that gave the opening prayer thanked God that the jail had provided him with a flashlight so he could read after lights out. He also gave thanks for the new items on the menu. After I read the scripture from Isaiah chapter 26, verse 19, one of the men asked why there were so many versions of the Bible. I told him that I had two Bibles, the King James Version that was translated in 1611, and La Santa Biblia, a Spanish version of the Bible. The man asked if he could read the scripture from Isaiah chapter 26, verse 19 in his Bible. I said sure. Those of our people who have died will live again. Their bodies will come back to life. All those sleeping in their graves will wake up and sing for joy. As the sparkling dew refreshes the earth, so the Lord will revive those who have long been dead. Isaiah chapter 29, verse 19. Good News Bible, translated in 1976. I told the men that in this particular instance, the passage from his Bible was easier for me to understand than the same verse from my Bible. In the third class in Pod 2A, there was a black man in a turban that volunteered to say the opening prayer. After I read the passage from Isaiah chapter 26, verse 19, and posted the pictures on the whiteboard, the same man wanted to talk about his idea of what death was. I was trying to listen carefully to what he was saying, but got lost. I had no idea what he was talking about. The thought occurred to me that maybe he didn't understand what I was talking about either. After a few minutes of listening to the man in the turban, our time was almost up, so I jumped in and asked the men to study each scripture on the handout so we could discuss them next week. I had forgotten to sing the hymn at the beginning of the class, so we sang it at the end of the class. I believe the man in the turban sang the hymn more enthusiastically than anyone. When I asked for someone to say the closing prayer, the only volunteer was the man in the turban.